Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a truly heartbreaking case, the story of Ania and Stanislaw Wardzela, a father and daughter whose lives, filled with love and family, were tragically torn apart by a chilling betrayal. These stories are never easy to share, but remembering them matters. If you'd like to support us in bringing more of these cases to light, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and share this video. It really helps us a lot. Now, let's begin. Today's case takes us to Calgary, a city in Western Canada. It was here on February 27, 1991, that Anna Maria Wardzela, known to everyone as Ania, was born. Her parents, Stanislaw and Alina Wardzela, had immigrated to Canada from Poland in 1986, carrying with them dreams of building a better life for their family. Stanislaw was born on August 15, 1953, in Star-Jester Zabka, Poland. At the age of 20, he served in the Polish army, and throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, he worked in several countries before making the life-changing decision to settle in Canada. The Wardzelas eventually made Calgary their home, and in 1987, Stanislaw married Alina. 4 years later, they welcomed their daughter Ania, and in 1992, their son Peter. Stanislaw worked tirelessly to provide for his children. His family was everything to him. He devoted himself to giving Ania and Peter the best opportunities possible and was a role model in their lives. The Wardzelas were incredibly close-knit, deeply connected by both their Polish heritage and Catholic faith. Anna's childhood friend, Diana Wysocki, who had known her for over 2 decades, described the family as always together. They were tight, she said, adding that Ania and her father shared a very loving and funny relationship. From a young age, Ania was deeply involved in Calgary's Polish community. She joined Krausi, a Polish dance group, and sang in the Polish youth choir. Her passion for her culture didn't stop there. In 2013, at the age of 22, Ania joined the Polish Scouts. She began her scouting journey at Camp Woods in Sylvan Lake, where she earned the rank of aspirant before advancing to first-rank guide leader. By 2017, she was a leader at the World Polish Scouts Jamboree in Tamrauta, Quebec. Ania also dedicated her talents to organizing community events such as the Quo Vadis Conference. A certified lifeguard, she was always eager to give back wherever she could. Education was equally important to her. In 2013, she graduated with 2 degrees, a Bachelor of Arts in French language and a degree in education. That same year, she began her teaching career with Rocky View Schools, first at Springbank Community High School. From 2018 to 2024, she taught at A.K. Edwards Elementary in Airdrie, before moving to Elizabeth Barrett Elementary in Cochrane. Her colleagues and students adored her, remembering her as a dedicated and inspiring teacher. Rocky View Schools later released a statement saying they were deeply grateful for the positive impact Ania had made on both students and staff, adding that her absence would be profoundly felt. But while teaching and her involvement in the Polish community defined much of her life, Ania's greatest joy was her children. She became a mother in 2018 with the birth of her first son, Kazio. 2 years later, in 2020, she welcomed her daughter, Kolinka, and in 2022, her youngest son, Katzberg, completed the family. Ania loved the mountains and spent as much time as possible outdoors. Hiking was one of her favorite activities, and she often brought her children along, regardless of their ages. To her, every outing was a chance to share the beauty of nature and create memories with her little ones. Her brother Peter, who was just 18 months younger than Ania, described their relationship as inseparable. They spoke every single day, sometimes through quick phone calls, other times on long video chats, allowing Peter to see his niece and nephews. He credited Ania with shaping the person he had become. "If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be who I am today," Peter said. "She helped me so much in life. She touched everyone's heart." Peter also shared a close bond with his father, Stanislaw, calling him his best friend. The two spoke daily, and Stanislaw lit up whenever he saw his grandchildren. Hunting and camping were traditions they looked forward to every year, and those adventures only deepened their bond. But as Stanislaw grew older, health issues limited his independence. He could no longer drive, and Peter had promised to take his father traveling, showing him the world, just as Stanislaw had once dreamed when he first brought the family to Canada. By all accounts, the Wardzellas were a loving and devoted family. They had come to Canada in search of a better life, and to anyone looking in from the outside, they seemed to have achieved it. But behind this picture of harmony was a darker reality, one centered on Ania's marriage. Her husband was 38-year-old Benedict Kaminski. He had studied petroleum engineering at the University of Alberta before earning a master's degree in software engineering at the University of Calgary. He was a licensed gun owner with no criminal history. To neighbors, colleagues, and acquaintances, Benedict appeared entirely ordinary, respectable even. But those closest to Ania began noticing troubling signs in her marriage. Over their 7 years together, during which they had 3 children, Benedict grew increasingly controlling. Peter would later describe his brother-in-law as relentless in his criticism. "Nothing Anna did was ever good enough," he recalled. Benedict monitored her phone, demanded to know who she spoke with, and maintained a constant pattern of psychological pressure. While his behavior never escalated to the point of police involvement, and no domestic violence reports were ever filed, the red flags were there. Then came Christmas Day of 2024. The Wardzela family gathered at Stanislaw and Alina's home in Calgary's Kincora neighborhood for what was supposed to be a joyful holiday celebration. But the atmosphere quickly shifted. Peter later recalled sensing something was wrong with Benedict. He described how a seemingly small issue, Ania cutting pickles in the kitchen, sparked 3 separate arguments within a minute. "What's wrong?" the family asked repeatedly, but Benedict's agitation only grew. The situation escalated when the couple's son wanted to sit next to his grandfather rather than his father. Benedict, instead of brushing it off, began antagonizing the boy. Peter recalled, "He started to push my sister away forcefully. I almost got into a fistfight with him." Benedict eventually stormed out of the house before police were called. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Ania confided in her brother. She told Peter she planned to leave her husband and file for a protective order against him. It was a declaration Peter would never forget, her final line of defense against a man she now feared. Looking back, Peter admitted he never imagined the depths of Benedict's capacity for violence. "I honestly never thought that this guy was capable of something so horrific," he said. But Benedict was capable, and in the 4 days following that Christmas Day argument, he would carefully plan an act of unthinkable brutality. Sunday, December 29th, 2024, began as an ordinary day for the Wardzela family. Around 3 in the afternoon, Ania dropped her mother, Alina, off at the family home on Kenora Grove Northwest. A neighbor, Diane Lincoln, witnessed the visit and later recalled how the Wardzellas seemed like a lovely, happy family. To her, nothing appeared out of the ordinary. That evening, Ania exchanged text messages with her brother Peter. It was a casual conversation, like so many before. Neither of them realized it would be their final exchange. At approximately 8:40 p.m., another neighbor heard what they thought was a car door slamming while watching a movie, but it wasn't a car door. Less than an hour later, at 9:30 p.m., Calgary police responded to a call of a person in medical distress at a residence on Kenora Grove Northwest. Inside, they discovered 71-year-old Stanislaw Wardzela dead from a gunshot wound. His wife, Alina, had just returned home to find her husband, the man she had married in 1987, the father of her children and the grandfather of 3, lying fatally wounded. As investigators worked the scene, fears mounted for Ania's safety. At 11:15 p.m., officers went to her home in Tuscany Ridge Heights, about 10 kilometers away. There, they found 33-year-old Ania dead. She too had been shot. The most horrifying discovery was that her 3 children, Kazio, Kolinka, and Katzberg, had been in the home at the time. They had witnessed their mother's murder. By then, Benedict Kaminski, Ania's husband, had already fled. He left the children with relatives in the Bear Spa area, ensuring they were physically safe before disappearing into the night. The following day, Inspector Lee Wayne of the Calgary Police Major Crime Section addressed the press. He confirmed the victims were believed to be Kaminski's wife and father-in-law, describing the deaths as targeted and domestic in nature. Kaminski, 38, had no criminal record, but he was a licensed firearm owner with access to weapons. The carefully executed nature of the crimes, 2 separate murder scenes, the children safely handed over, and Benedict's swift escape, pointed not to a spontaneous outburst, but to chilling premeditation. Neighbor Diane Lincoln was left in disbelief. "Lovely family," she said quietly. "I would never have expected anything like this." But the central question remained: where was Benedict Kaminski? On Monday, December 30th, 2024, at 12:13 p.m., the province of Alberta issued an emergency alert. Rarely used for domestic cases, the warning made clear the seriousness of the threat. The alert described Benedict Kaminski as a 38-year-old white male, 6 feet tall with brown and gray hair, last seen wearing a gray, red, and white shirt. He was believed to be driving a black 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. The message urged residents of Calgary, Bear Spa, and surrounding communities: do not open your doors to strangers. If you see the suspect, do not approach. Call 911 immediately. The hunt for Kaminski had begun. Inspector Lee Wayne explained why the rare provincial emergency alert had been issued. "We don't want anyone to interact with this individual," he told reporters. "We go through a risk assessment process at every stage of an investigation, and once we start to see sudden behaviors or concerns getting raised, we then look towards utilizing the public and alerting them to risks." Initially, police had reassured the community that the public was not in danger, believing the murders were targeted and domestic in nature. But as details about Benedict Kaminski's movements emerged, that assessment changed. Authorities feared he could still be in Northwest Calgary, Bear Spa, or even farther away. This was no longer just a local matter. Law enforcement agencies across the province and beyond were put on alert. The community lived in fear. A dangerous man, armed, unpredictable, and believed to have already killed 2 people, was on the run. At 3:40 p.m. on December 30th, police received a tip about a suspicious vehicle parked near Water Valley, roughly 80 kilometers northwest of Calgary. When officers arrived, they found Benedict Kaminski near the vehicle. He was dead. He had taken his own life. By 4:40 p.m., the Alberta emergency alert was canceled. The suspect has been located deceased. There is no further risk to the public. Benedict's 36-hour reign of terror was over. But for the Wardzela family, the nightmare was just beginning. Peter Wardzela, devastated by the loss of his father and sister, spoke publicly through tears. "It completely broke me down. I knew right then life would never, ever be the same for this family again." A GoFundMe campaign, launched by family friend Diana Wisaki, was set up to support Ania's 3 young children. "We are heartbroken to share the tragic passing of Ania Wardzela, a beloved mom, daughter, sister, and friend," she wrote. "Her children are now facing an unimaginable loss. We want to ensure they have the resources and care they need moving forward." The response was overwhelming. More than $341,000 was raised from over 3,100 donations, with the funds transferred directly to Alina, Ania's mother, to help provide for the children's care and education. Peter later confirmed that he and his mother intended to adopt the 3 siblings, Kazio, Kolinka, and Katzberg. "She would do anything for those children, absolutely anything," he said of his mother. The 2 older children, now in therapy, sometimes asked about their father. Their guardians gently steered the conversation toward their mother and grandfather. The trauma of what they witnessed would never fully leave them, but Peter reassured the community. The kids are doing good. They will grow up surrounded by love. On January 11th, 2025, a funeral mass was held for Ania and Stanislaw at Our Lady Queen of Peace Catholic Church in Calgary, followed by burial at Queen's Park Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, the family requested donations to the Calgary Women's Emergency Shelter, or Fear is Not Love, organizations supporting victims of domestic violence. What happened to Ania Wardzela and her father, Stanislaw Wardzela, is every family's worst nightmare. A holiday meant for love and celebration ended in terror. A woman's decision to finally break free from an abusive relationship was met with the ultimate act of control: deadly violence. 2 lives were cut short. 3 children were left without their mother. A family was shattered forever. Yet their legacy endures. In the children Ania loved, in the students she inspired, and in the memories held close by all who knew them. Please don't forget Ania and Stanislaw. Thanks for watching, friends. Please don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to stay notified. See you in the next one.